I'll take you to an island paradise.
I'll take you to a resort that's serious about bird watching.
Hi, I'm Kannan Menon. Welcome to the show. This week I'm on the island of coconuts, Koh Samui in southern Thailand. There's a story about a father and his two sons that tells us a lot about Koh Samui and what it's become. Once upon a time, Koh Samui was a very well-kept secret, known only to a few backpackers. Today, it's one of the top tourist destinations in all of Thailand. Well, it seems that this father had two sons, one of whom was hard-working and industrious, and the other was a lazy good-for-nothing. So to the industrious, hard-working son, the father gave his best, most valuable property, the coconut plantations in the foothills. And to his good-for-nothing lazy son, the father gave his worthless beachfront property. Guess who got lucky in the end? Let's check out a couple of those fine beachfront resort hotels. It is the kind of place you see in the mind's eye when you dream of a tropical getaway. Best of all, it's an hour's flight from Bangkok over the Gulf of Siam. Koh Samui is vintage tropical island. Forested hills in the center, coconut palm-fringed beaches and sharp white sand slicing down to blue-green waters. A few years ago, it was accessible only by ferry from Surat Thani in southern Thailand. Then they built one of the prettiest little airports in Asia on the island, and the legend of Koh Samui keeps growing.
In the States, talking to us about Thailand, said Koh Samui is the place to go. And then go out to Koh Tao and you know, hit the undeveloped areas and then come back to Koh Samui and hang out for a while at a nice hotel. So
there are more visitors now, but Koh Samui still affords room to stretch out and enjoy the lush surroundings. Here's a perfect example. A beach that curves for half a mile on either side of this very popular resort property. What better place to work on a tan and work out all those muscular tensions by way of a traditional Thai massage.
Samui is like Hawaii. It's very tropical, mountainous. It's kind of like Maui, where you have the waterfalls, you have the beach, all of the great food and fresh fruits and wonderful people.
As I wandered back from the beach towards the main building, I discovered that the fleet was in town. Actually, this convoy of landlocked rice barges are the most desirable suites in a unique resort, the Samui Boathouse Hotel. Welcome to my parlor, said the spider to the fly. Now, if you thought that staying in a houseboat would mean cramped quarters, to paraphrase that old song from the 60s, come on down to my boat, baby. It's a landlubber's dream, the pleasures of shipboard living minus the perils of a sea journey. Emphasizing the nautical theme, the swimming pool is also boat-shaped. The Samui Boathouse has a sister hotel, the Samui Imperial, which celebrated its first decade earlier this year.
It is built in typical Mediterranean-style villa hotel, yeah? And it's got the most private beach in Koh Samui, unique saltwater swimming pool, which is the focal point. And it's a more fun hotel there because we have many different nationalities coming in. Mostly European again, but a lot of Japanese are starting to use Imperial Chuang now.
But once they've checked in, visitors are likely to discover a world of activities both on the properties, canoeing, sailing, jet skiing, parasailing, and in the nearby hamlets of Chaweng or Lamai, with its boutiques, restaurants, discos, bars, and demi-mondaine establishments.
It's like a sleeping red Bordeaux in the mornings, and then it becomes like a sparkling wine about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. And by midnight it's all just champagne and flowing. Yeah?
The hangover would be well worth it. This is the Temple of the Big Buddha. It was founded in 1969 by Prakru Santhi as a center for meditation and research, and he was surprised to find people from all over the world coming here to meditate and research and study. In fact, it was such a success that in 1972 he built this 15-meter high image of Gautama Buddha. And on that note, let's see what's going places.
Welcome to Manila. Are you looking for that quiet, romantic evening? Don't come here.
If your digestive system isn't keen on excitement while it's coping with a large food intake, then this is not the place for you. But if you enjoy a bit of a sing-along and dance-along, in fact, if you just like a darn good time, then this definitely is the place for you. Actually, the Ihao Caldera restaurant on Rojas Boulevard is just one of 7, including a couple of barrio fiestas that feature the singing cooks and waiters. It's a success story that began in 1991 and has been growing steadily ever since. Now there's no end of performers wanting to become waiters or waitresses.
Well, I read about it in the newspaper, and they were looking for cocktail attendants who can sing, and I auditioned.
What we want from them is their voice. They know how to sing, they know how to entertain people, and they know how to dance.
At the Ihao Caldera restaurant, they have one room that sings in Tagalog and another in English. And if you're worried about the cooking, well, don't be. The cooks may be able to sing, but they also have to be able to cook.
Before becoming a cook in the KR, we call it Kawali room, okay, where they cook the food right in front of the customers. They have to undergo training in the kitchen for 3 months, for at least 3 months, and they cannot come up here and serve and cook for the customers unless they do know how to cook some recipe.
I've serenaded a few girls in my time, but usually with an out-of-tune version of Satisfaction after a few too many bottles of the old amber fluid. But I've never been serenaded myself, and I felt a bit like a reluctant Nelson Eddy. Mind you, it wasn't long before I turned into a slightly less reluctant Fred Astaire. It's called having fun, and Filipinos, through their undisputed talent and music, have been spreading that message for years.
Maybe it's in us. It's in us, it's inside us.
It's certainly in over 50 singing cooks and waiters now performing in Manila. On top of that, the food was good, and nobody spilt a drink on me. You can't ask for much more than that.
For more information, you can email the Department of Tourism of the Philippines on the following address.
Before there were aircraft and tourists arriving here in Koh Samui, there were fishing villages like Boput right here, and fishing boats. But today, most of the fishing boats have been transformed into tour boats, and tourism is clearly the mainstay of the island. In fact, Koh Samui is a stepping stone for some of the best diving sites in the Gulf of Siam. Now let's take a break, and after that, some travel tech news.
Keep an eye on the following travel tip, brought to you by the Tourism Authority of Thailand. which invites you to visit during the amazing Thailand years 1998 to 99. Experience the splendours of a kingdom.
It's nothing quite like getting up at the crack of dawn and running on the beach here at Koh Samui. It's so beautiful and empty and peaceful. But other people prefer to get up at this time and head out for some golf. So why don't you?
Australia's Gold Coast is regarded as the golfing capital of the Southern Hemisphere. Home to more than 30 courses stretching in all directions, alongside the region's golden beaches and rainforest hinterland, it's the ideal playground for those who love the green as much as they do the blue. It's here that you'll find the Robina Woods Golf Course. Designed by Graham Marsh, the picturesque 6,078-metre par 71 layout meanders through rolling natural woodlands that are home to a variety of wildlife, including kangaroos and ducks that often provide a novel course obstacle.
The course has been here for 7 years, and as you can see, it's very natural. It has a large number of birds that visit, a large number of animals that visit, and the Australiana setting is really unique and something that's really appreciated by people from overseas.
A tranquil but exacting course, Robina Woods also plays host to the Asian Tournament Players' Championship.
Almost every golf club has rental clubs available, and for $20 to $50 you can hire a bag and a full set of clubs, and they're available at your Golf Club Pro shop. When you're choosing a set of rental clubs, try to select a set that suits your specifications. Firstly, look at the shaft, whether you use a steel shaft or a carbon shaft and the type of flex it is. Then you look at the grip, the size of it, and then you look at the head type, whether you use a blade club or a peripheral weighted club. And remember, it's not the name brand of the club, it's what suits your game.
Now let's go on the road with Mark McCormack.
With a last-minute trip, sometimes your biggest headache is getting the ticket and boarding pass in hand before you depart for the airport. Now, if you're a volume traveler, your travel agency should be delivering those tickets to your office, even to your home. But what if you need to be ticketed after normal business hours when your agent is unavailable? Many airlines will send you your ticket by overnight delivery service. Now, this is not a service the airlines advertise. However, if you need the ticket right away, all you have to do is ask them to send it overnight. When you consider it, it makes economic sense. The airlines would pay a 10% commission to a travel agency to write up the ticket. On a $1,000 ticket, that's $100. If they pay $875 for an overnight delivery, they can save themselves $91 and demonstrate extraordinary personal service to a frequent passenger. It's even more of a bargain when you remember that airlines are in the transportation business and have special arrangements with overnight delivery services. It costs them virtually nothing to put your ticket in your hands overnight. But it won't happen unless you ask. I'm Mark McCormack, doing business on the road.
The best thing you can do for yourself is to get your own set of funky wheels for about $35 a day or less and explore the island on your own. So, while I go ahead and do that, why don't you take a look at Travel Tech News?
What's taller than the Eiffel Tower was some 3 years in the building and opened to the public this month. At an impressive 328 metres high, it has to be Auckland's new Sky Tower. The tower dominates the city skyline from just about any vantage point. Its opening signifies the completion of the Sky City Hotel and Casino project, a multi-million-dollar complex which is also the site of New Zealand's second casino.
We describe it as a multifaceted entertainment destination, and we're trying to provide a range of entertainment opportunities that will make it attractive across a broad spread of customers.
Located in the heart of downtown Auckland, Sky City comprises restaurants, a live theatre venue, conference rooms, retail shops, and a 350-room 4-star hotel. The tower itself, below its telecommunications mast, offers several observation levels and a revolving restaurant. The country's second and largest casino, managed by US operator Harrah's, has added a new dimension to the entertainment scene in Auckland.
Certainly Sky City does its part to ensuring that there is an entertainment option available to everyone 24 hours a day.
New Zealand's first casino opened in November 1994 in the southern city of Christchurch. It set the ball rolling on the country's new gaming industry, and in February 1996, the Sky City Casino opened its doors. These first two casinos were given a 2-year operating monopoly. For Christchurch, that's already run out. For Auckland, it comes to an end next January. For the next 3 years, however, any new casino cannot open within a 100-kilometre radius. The Casino Control Authority was set up to govern the growing gaming industry in New Zealand. A politically independent body, it provides the casino licences and approves ownership and management of the casinos.
I think politically it was important to restrict the numbers of casinos at their introduction. The other thing which made a lot of sense was to provide the initial operators with a chance to put in a significant investment and to provide them with, if you like, a breathing space after they had commenced operation.
Part of the authority's ongoing role is to consider the licensing of further casinos in New Zealand. Applications have been lodged for 2 more casinos in the South Island, and in the North Island there are talks of more, possibly one in the capital city, Wellington. Trevor Garrett believes another casino could open within 2 years.
So I think in New Zealand we will perhaps get more casinos. I think we'll perhaps see a range of different types of games being introduced.
The casinos in Auckland and Christchurch have had a significant impact on the local and national economies.
We're told in Christchurch that the net impact on employment is around about 500 additional jobs. In Auckland it's probably in the region of about 3,000 jobs.
The taxation that we pay, which is also of course very substantial, provides a very positive contribution to both the city and the national economies.
On top of this is the indirect employment created in the surrounding community. They have established the gaming industry in New Zealand, but Sky City and the casinos are also adding to the country's appeal as a tourist destination, particularly for Asian travellers who continue to flock to its shores.
As you drive anywhere around this island, there are wonderful scenic views of sky and sand and sun. Time now for a break. And when we return, we'll be heading offshore. You know, the island offers endless opportunities for water sports and water-related activities of all kinds. So I think I'm going to take advantage of that and practice my paddling for a little while. So why don't you head offshore too?
Whether or not you're an avid bird watcher, one of the most beautiful and exotic winged creatures you're likely to see throughout Asia is the hornbill, a black and white bird known for its yellow beak. But like most wildlife in this region, its future has been threatened by the fast march of progress, a relentless growth that slowly eats away at this giant bird's habitat. On Pangkor Island, though, in the Straits of Malacca, the hornbill has found a new friend. The island's only major resort, built 14 years ago, has introduced a special scheme to take care of the protected birds that have become one of the symbols of Malaysia. In many cases, development chases wildlife away, but staff here have taken great efforts to ensure not only do the hornbills stay, many more come back to nest. Around the resort's perimeter and at the edge of the jungle, staff have planted scores of MacArthur palms, which bloom with the hornbill's favourite berries, and the birds just can't resist.
We have managed to keep them here, attract as many as we can. At one point of time, about 2-3 years back, we were a bit worried because their numbers dwindled. But I think now they're back, and looks like they'll be back for good.
The staff efforts to protect wildlife have also encouraged numerous monkeys to feel at home here. The human visitors rewarded with a host of feathered and furry guests on their rooftops.
We try to be as environmentally friendly as we can. We, apart from the hornbills, have the monkeys and the sea otters and a huge variety of fish and other bird life. We've got the golden orioles, the woodpeckers and so forth. So it was important that with everything we do, we're as friendly as we can be.
Staff here are trained to understand the birds' habits and to encourage resort guests to touch only their cameras and take only photos. They hope that their example will encourage other regional developers to take a little more care of the assets that nature provided.
Wildlife was here before we came, and I think when we clear the land and open up for projects such as resorts and things like that, I think we should definitely make an effort to conserve wildlife and not to disturb the surrounding areas as much as possible.
For more information, you can surf through the website on your screen.
By day, there are tranquil beaches and crystal clear waters, but at night people come out to party here in Chowing. But hey, if you don't feel like boogieing all night, well, there are still clothing stores and curios and antiques and even fine cuisine. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what's cooking with Mrs. Balbert.
Medical doctors believe that yogurt can do wonders for your body, especially when you have been eating antibiotics for a long period of time. Eating yogurt can help get rid of harmful bacteria and build up positive bacteria in your stomach. Women in India would massage their faces with yogurt to delay wrinkles and brighten their complexion. A few points to remember while making yogurt is always cover the pot of yogurt with a tea towel to assure proper temperature. Yogurt is best made in a porcelain pot or a clay pot, and when it's ready, it should be thick and easy to scoop. And now let me show you how to do a delicious drink with mango and yogurt. This drink helps you to cool down during the summers. All you need is a blender, half cup of mangoes, half cup of ice, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and of course 1 cup of yogurt. And now you blend this for 30 seconds. And now the mango lassi is ready to serve. Let's take a look at what's happening around Asia.
Coming up towards the end of August, the Festival of the Hungry Ghosts in Singapore, the Changchun International Film Festival in China, and in the beginning of September, the Pitchit boat races in Thailand. On the 7th of September, the annual general meeting of the Indian Ocean Tourism Organization in Surabaya, Indonesia, and Korea-Japan Goodwill Fishing Competition on the Andong-ho Lake in South Korea.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. You know, I think it's going to be as hard for all of these people to leave Koh Samui as it is for me. See you next time.